Hello, my name is Silver Spy. I'm doing this replay review by request of Jargon here on the Li Ming. This was a Nexomania Development League game played recently, and we're going to be looking at this from the perspective of the blue side. Real quick about me, I've been involved with competitive HOTS for a few years now. I've been an avid competitor in probably I'd say around mid-tier amateur league. So I'm not the best player, but I spent a while studying this game and its strategies, so I think my advice is worth a thing or two. Alright, immediately looking at this game, what stands out to me is, first of all, your solo lane matchup is extremely favorable. Leoric versus Deathwing on Towers of Doom. Deathwing cannot double soak, not well at least, while Leoric double soaks very easily. And additionally, if they ever meet, Leoric can trade into Deathwing pretty easily. So that should be handled from you guys. But on the opposite side, what then you need to look out for is the enemy team ganking your offlane. Because if your offlane's struggling, you're going to need to help them out, otherwise you just fall behind on XP. Luckily, Leoric's pretty resilient to ganks, and they don't have a particularly good ganking comp. So it's not too big of a threat, but still something you should keep in mind. Format-wise, Mal'Ganis is an interesting choice. I'm curious how this goes. At high-level competitive play, Mal'Ganis is considered pretty much unpickable. For a few reasons, but mostly he has winds up on all of his abilities. He needs to get in your face to do anything. He takes a while to do any CC. If you face check a bush with the Mal'Ganis, you don't get stunned instantly. You have like a second to react, and he's very weak to enemy CC since he has to walk himself in to do anything. But if not handled properly, he can be really disruptive. So I want to see how this goes on your side for dealing with Mal'Ganis. A wave of force from Li Ming to knock him back will be really useful. Johanna just making sure he can't walk himself into your backline will be good. Deckard also has a lot of CC that can help handle things. You've got a pretty standard DPS setup. Greymane's decent all around. He can wave clear. He can hit heroes pretty well. He can handle your camps, which is really good. You've got a very disgusting burst combo. Greymane and Li Ming can both pretty much delete anyone on their team very quickly. Maybe not Deathwing. We'll see though. Depends on your talents and their talents. Deckard, I'm a personal Deckard fan. That opens up a lot of things for you. Johanna can maybe even play a bit more defensively and just gatekeep for Mal'Ganis, while Deckard plays for engage, but it's pretty flexible. That's on their side. They're fairly short range. Tychus and Orpheus are both short ranged, so you could play for a Pokey Li Ming if you want and just wear them down until they get low enough that Greymane Li Ming can jump on them and delete them. Tychus obviously a threat for Leoric and Johanna, but you've got blinds from Johanna to help with that. Um, Greymane and possibly Li Ming, if you go teleport build, watch out for Brightwing polymorphs when you go in. But overall, I like your team a lot better, almost in a large part because of this offlane diff, which I should hope would be a big factor in this game. You should be able to get an XP pretty easily. Alright. Running off. I like going bush vision here. I would even just stay in the bush. You don't really need to sit in the waves as Johanna quite yet, not until waves crash. Okay, just going for a clear here. Makes sense. Alright, you've cleared the wave first, you don't need to fight anymore. Alright, good escape. Yeah, I would say this is a mistake initially here. There's really no reason to fight once you've cleared this wave. You don't have any heroes that need stacks. I guess sort of Deckard, but frankly, it's not important enough. You've already got waves crashing down here. Many just died here, so if you don't get here quickly, you're going to start missing XP. If you have the ability to clear this mid-wave quickly and then leave, that's great. You can clear it, leave, go bot, and then you guys can clear this wave first while your Johanna or whatever sits over here and stalls rotations. So when these guys do finally clear the wave, they're stalled even more, and the idea is to then get them to miss some of these minions and fall behind on XP. So yeah, no one's even gone. Now you've got a second wave crashing. Bit of an inefficiency on that, by the way. Okay, so if you stayed mid for this long enough for the waves to crash, but you're not even clearing the waves, so you just missed XP here for no reason. I would have at least cleared this wave, make it a little bit easier on your Leoric. He can catch it, that's fine, but clearing this while these guys have it makes it even easier on him because now he can. There's even another wave up here that's crashing. Now he's got two waves crashing. He has to figure out which one to deal with, and he could also just bully the Deathwing some more. That's good. Good Deckard route. Alright, camp's up. I like the fact that we're gone this immediately. It's really good. Get your healer there, though. Deckard's going to need to help Greymon this camp. Greymon can't solo at level 1. Yeah, Deckard should absolutely be right here. By the way, if you want to play for wave clear on Deckard, take gems. Alright, I was mistaken. Greymon can do it. But it would have been a lot easier if there was a healer there. The fact that they haven't done this is really good too. You have this advantage here. If you get healed up, you can look to invade, especially since Leoric has Prio. This is actually a really good invade. If you guys go in right here, Leoric will miss a top wave, but it's worth it to come down here and secure this camp and get 2 camps pushing. Good Deckard route. Yeah, Leoric should be rotating here. I'd be absolutely called for your Leoric to rotate. If you have a Leoric right here, that's great. So that's one thing. Look at this fight again. I don't. All right, so you see this. Okay, and it's on the flank here. As Joe, I'd just move in and shut them off. Yeah, you just seem really very uncoordinated, I think, is the thing. Deckard moved back like he wants to get out. Greymane's looking like he wants to go in. These guys want to get out. Just figure out a plan and stick with it. Because you did have a good window there. I like the invade call. Take a look at the offline here. This is very inefficient Leoric wave clear, by the way. Let me go back for a bit. So what you want to do here instead is wait till I get to this H formation or get to the middle of it, like right here as they're coming in anyway. Then you want to hit this middle guy twice with your cleave attacks. And make sure you put your crit attack on not this guy. And by getting in the center here, you make sure your cleave hits their entire wave. And then, I believe early in this game, something like cleave, crit on like a front line or back line, doesn't particularly matter. Then you probably need like another cleave or 2, and then you Q. And basically, the idea is, instead of being right here, where your cleave is only hitting these 4, if you're here, your cleave is hitting all 6, or if not necessarily all 6, you'll at least be able to angle it to get 5, and then your crit can go on the last one. And then you will them all down at the same time, so you can get a Q to clear it much faster. Yeah, and then the crit here is bad because it removes the mage minion as a cleave target if you were there, and also the mage minion is the one that's easiest to kill, so you don't need your biggest auto attack on him in the first place. Yeah, you could probably be shaving at least like 3 or 4 seconds off your clear doing that. You're actually getting out-soaked by Deathwing. There's... I forget the command to pull up the XP. Yeah. This is a big thing with clearing as Leoric. You want to make sure you're maximizing your clear time. Okay, so first objective coming up. You got Deathwing up here. You guys don't know that, but you could probably figure it out. You see these guys here, so I like going for this. Kill this guy as soon as he goes in. Alright, yeah, this guy should die for this. Joe goes in, gets the WQ. Greymane should be able to kill. Yeah, the Deckard route. I want to see the Deckard again. The fact that that guy got out was criminal. Alright, yeah, it was just a raw route. Yeah. Look, I'm not gonna go too much into talents here. They're not super helpful. But when you're looking for a route as Deckard, WQ, or sorry, EW, is a good combo because your E goes out, then your W comes out and slows people in it. And Sapphire one really helps with that. Base W, you can still walk out of the route, but with Sapphire, unless they have a dash or a slow cleanse, they will get trapped by your route if you aim it correctly. They cannot walk out of it in time. So, and that would have definitely helped with killing Tychus there. Even just getting the W on him. That guy should die, but your Greymane's in trouble here. That's a disgusting Gatling Q. That's rough. I wanna look at this again. They're good there, that's good. So yeah, this guy getting out is just criminal. That should be a kill. And then that makes the whole fight play very differently. The fact that he doesn't... At this point, too, by the way, I'd back out because you see these guys coming down, chasing this guy. You can get the kill, but you'll be super far out of position, which you are. Yeah, you're just so split here. You guys are up here. Your DPS is back here. And these guys can't really... Well... Ming can get some good damage in this choke. But it's not... Yeah, it's not enough. You're getting soak for this, though. Deathwing's missing soak. Yeah, actually, look at this again. This Yorick does get on the side here, but you queued too early, and now you've killed the mage guy. It doesn't particularly matter here because you have such a big wave that is killing the front line anyway. But that's why you want to wait on the cleave. You want to like cleave, crit something, then cleave, and then you cleave, maybe a fourth cleave, depending on your level. Later game, you can do like cleave, Q. Early game, you need another couple cleaves to do it. But if you Q too early, then that kills the mage minion, and then you can't cleave the entire wave. Not worth doing that. Just get the soak. Yeah, you wanted in a circle here, and now you're missing more soak bot, or mid rather. I like that Johanna's getting that though. That's it's a very good thing. Having your foreman rotate up. I wouldn't necessarily have it be the Johanna, but it's fine. Johanna has enough wave clear. Alright, camps up. I like that you're going on that again. It's good instincts. You guys are good on these camps. I still keep Deckard around there. He needs to tap, that's fair enough. This is good tank positioning too. I really like your guys' positioning here. Joe in this bush to watch for invades, Raymond on the camp, Healer in the back. This is really great. And again, you could potentially look for an invade here, although York's in a bad position for it, so maybe not. Alright, and because you had Joe in the bush, you saw that coming. That's fantastic. During Messi, yeah, your Deckard is you're desynchronizing your W's and your E's. You want to use them at the same time, so the slow sets up for the root. That's kind of weird. If your team is here, what are you doing back here? Like, there's a decent flank in theory, but look at this. Your Li Ming's all the way back here. Your tank's all the way up here. And this is a common problem in a lot of competitive teams, I found. My team struggles with it from time to time too. But getting your DPS and your tank on the same page is really important. Making sure when your tank is looking for an engage, your DPS is ready to follow up, and your tank only looks when your DPS is ready to follow up. It's never really on one person. It's always a two-way street. Should always be tank, making sure the DPS is there, DPS, and making sure they're in range of the tank. Both of them should be looking for this. So your Greymaine's sort of ready, although, yeah, there's your main coming in. But look at this. You're getting this suck off on 3 people, which is great. This is a fantastic engage. Except there's no follow-up because all of your DPS is a mile away, and Mal'Ganis is also blocking all of them. No one can follow up on this. So now you go in, you get this, it does nothing, and you're forced to burn Iron Skin, which is a hugely important cooldown for Joe. Also, that root, same thing. You got a great root onto Tychus, but there's no follow-up. So far, biggest things, so far the biggest things I'm seeing is Leoric inefficient with the wave clear, and I am pretty sure that's losing him a lot. I have not really seen him beat this Deathwing in anything. You're even in XP. 1 kill is... You should be significantly more ahead in XP. This Deathwing should not be able to play the game, basically. Deckard not being efficient with your combos, not using W and E together, and just sort of throwing them out at random times. Deckard is a very interesting hero. I like him. He's basically an engage healer. You're half a tank because you're looking to get engages on people that your team can follow up on. You want to be using, just like a tank wants to be using their abilities, very in a very smart way to make sure that they're not wasting their CC that they might need later. You also want to be doing that because an engage like here that goes out that hits no one is useless. And then also your DPS and your front line kind of split up a lot. It happened over here where there was half your team over here and half of them over here. It happened here where your Johanna was here and your DPS was over here. You have the way you want to be playing these fights is you want to okay, your Ming's going orb build too, so this is even more important. You want to be playing for poke here. You want your Ming to be shelling them with orbs and your Greymane to just be slapping them with autos. You can outrange their DPS. So you want to be playing safe, you want to be just hitting their tank, hitting whoever steps up, and whittling them down until they get low enough that Greymane, not Ming, because of Ming's build, Ming is all into the shelling. You want them until they're low enough that Greymane can jump in and get a kill. Back to this team fight though, your setup here is really good. I want to go back and see that. I was talking a little bit. But Mal'Ganis is low on mana. Yeah, so good on Mal'Ganis there, stepping up to block you guys. so you can't follow up. He's going in too far now. This is a good punish. You can focus this guy down. This guy should die. Aw. Extended a little bit too far though. You didn't quite have the damage. Alright. I don't know what your comms were like, but that should have been you should have had a warning by Leoric probably about 10 seconds ago that Deathwing was in the air. That's really awkward, yeah. I want to take a look at this one more time just to see what we're drawing here, because this is good. You got the Morgana slow. Just can't finish him. What are Ming's cooldowns looking like here? Yeah, alright. You had Orb up there. You could have tossed out the Mal'Ganis. I'm not sure if it's enough damage at that range to kill him, but it was something you could have tried. You're also missing a lot of magic missiles, but the mechanic stuff is not really something I can complain about. And then you should have known Deathwing was in the air there. That's a really good draw application for him. That's a needless waste of E, by the way. Yep. I have a recommendation for your York player. Go into the practice tool and just practice some wave clear things. Go to the side, cleave, crit one of these 6, not the middle one. Cleave, Q. Wave should be cleared. Obviously if you don't have 2 cleaves loaded up, if there's a crit somewhere, you just crit one of the other ones whenever you have it up. And you'll see your wave clear going up significantly. Alright, so you guys just got 10. What do we have to work with? Let's see, Malk. A second. Okay. I don't hate that disintegrate use. Just clearing the wave. It's a low cooldown. Alright, so we've got Lornado, Entomb, Disintegrate, Curse Bolt, and Buzzed Shield. Versus, I assume it's going to be Blink Heal, Crushing Jaws, Draken, Carrion Swarm, and Bellowing War. Okay, so Curse Bolt it sort of works if you want to play for tank. You can definitely Curse Bullet the Mal'Ganis, and that can help kill him. Entomb can set up some skill threats, especially on Deathwing, because that's a CC that Deathwing can't stop. I don't love this Deckard build in general, but I don't want to go into it. Also would have considered Wave of Force just to mess with what's his name, Mal'Ganis more. The fact that they went Drill though is pretty good, because this Odin is usually the pick for Tychus just because it allows him to increase his range and do something when he can't just hit the tank. So now he doesn't have that option. So their weakness of short range is even greater now. You just have to watch out for Carrion Swarm as something Mal'Ganis can use to escape. Also, it's stacks on Orphea. That's interesting. Alright. Let's see how this next team fight goes. Alright, Curse Bullet misses. Lornado misses. Now you kind of just don't want to do anything because 2 of your abilities are down. Blessed Shield misses. Yeah, you really just want to get out here. You're in retreat mode. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely not something you should be doing. You've just missed 1, 2, 3 ults, and they know this. Especially Blessed Shield is a huge ult. And the fact that that's down makes Joe's effectiveness in a fight significantly less. Meanwhile, they just used 1 ult. They used Crushing Jaws, that's it. Oh, it's Emerald Wind, interesting. So you're down on ults here. This is not something you should be fighting. See how it goes out, though. Good interrupt on the Carrion Swarm. I don't think it was intentional. He kind of just walked into it. But that's really good that that's down. Yeah, I'd back up here. Your Joe is really low. I think Joe dies here. Yep, guess out. Never mind. Good kill on the Mal'Ganis, though. I don't think you got an orb reset on that. I thought the orb here. Yeah, you didn't get an orb reset on that. That's too short. You fight kind of salvaged because their Mal'Ganis ran into towers, but keep in mind your ult cooldowns versus their ult cooldowns. You only want to fight when you have an advantage. You don't want to fight when you're at a disadvantage. Alright, camp's up. I'd be going to that. You have no tank, but neither do they. I know altars are coming up, but you have time to take up that. Excellent. Good job. Using all the abilities to clear it. I like the disintegrate usage this game so far, by the way. 20-second cooldown, you can use it to clear waves, clear camps. You go on your part. Low on mana though, do you have a tap available? Alright, looks like both teams are just going for their own. Fair enough.
The altars have risen.
No. Get someone to start channeling this. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't love this right here. I would just sit in this bush. You're checking this bush, why? Unless, if you want to invade, you can't because your Grey Main's super far behind. The rest of your team is really far behind here, and you're going into this bush basically alone. You can, whether they're in this bush or not, there's really no reason to check it. You're fine just sitting here and letting your team cap. Because yeah, here, you just lost a bunch of health. And you have to burn Blessed Shield defensively, Curse Bullets down. You can maybe kill this guy. Okay, you interrupted Carrying Storm, he should die. Good, excellent. Good Entomb. Okay, this is the first fight that Leorisa. Get a good Entomb. E through that. I would have eat earlier to get behind. You could have been able to get that Orphea kill. Alright. So you're behind on altars, but it's not an awful thing. This is a good comeback map. That's fine. I like looking at this invade if you have people. Yep. Clear this way first, though. Yep, get on the Joe. This is fun. Yep. Because you just saw a bunch of people top. This is basically a free camp. You need to show up here now, though. Do you have Blessed? You have Blessed? Good. Okay, you're focusing this guy. So comms right now should be Tychus, 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 Tychus. Unfortunate. Alright, get out if you can. Tychus out. Joe has no iron skin, so good luck. Seems to be getting out, though. Good teleport. Alright. Could have been worse. Rest of you are out. You can maybe fight this. Joe has enough poke. Joe and Ming have enough poke that you can stall this until Grey Mane gets back. I like clearing this before you come though. That's a lot. That's a lot of XP you're missing. All right, but wave camp. All right, I like getting vision in this bush. Good positioning. Except you move out of it now. Just stay in the bush. Like Alright, I don't know what this is. If someone walks into the bush, you try and kill them. If you don't want to kill them, then these guys need to step back too. You're trying to just gut out, let Morganis walk in. Now you're walking in circles. Did you get a reset on that orb? You did. Okay. Okay. This suck. We got Blessed in 5. We've got Leoric coming in. Big Entomb. Huge Entomb. I love it. Why is Greyman walking away? Um, do you have... Disintegrate does not actually do that much damage. If you have orbs up, throw some orbs. That's good. Yeah, and you're... Yeah. Okay. Nice. Good escape by Greymane. This is... decent. And if you have... Yeah, if you have an orb up, just throw an orb. Disintegrate is actually not a lot of DPS. If you find someone who's been caught, throw your abilities at them and only disintegrate last. Yeah, you had an orb there. Yeah, the entire time you could have thrown that, and that probably is the kill. If you throw an orb and then disintegrate, that should be a kill. Alright, so yeah. This team fight was a lot of people running around doing nothing and misusing abilities. If you chosen the bush here, great, I love it, gathering vision. But then if the tank walks into the bush, you don't just leave. Because your goal here is to anchor this bush and be a rock there for your team. If as soon as someone comes, you walk away, that doesn't do anything. Especially if you walk like further in, you walk this away into their team and just sort of like walked in a circle and let Morganis do what he wanted. And then when you get this Entomb here, Greymane is running up away from the fight, not doing anything. Ming using Disintegrate far too often. If your orb build, your orb is going on um basically like a 1-2 second cooldown every time you hit it. I did not see nearly enough orbs going out, and you were definitely getting orb resets. You're using Disintegrate for damage way too much. Whenever you have any other abilities up, you should be using those, not Disintegrate. Disintegrate, a lot of damage, but it's over a lot of time, and they have to stay in it, which they often don't. Meanwhile, Orb is probably somewhere around that amount of damage in one hit, and you get that, like, maybe twice, almost 3 times in this time frame. Leoric respawning here. That was a good orb. Yeah, Leoric respawning here is a little bit in it. You didn't die, but you could have been going up here to respawn on a wave. Alright, you got camp up. I like that you're on it. This is a really good thing you guys have been doing the entire game, making sure you get these camps on cooldown. This is actually kind of troll by these guys. Boss is not a great play by them at this point. Uh, it looks like you're going up to contest this. I wouldn't. You're lagging behind a bit. So if you want to fight it, make sure you wait for your DPS. Both of your DPS are really far behind. Your healer's all the way over here. Make sure you wait for people before going in. Honestly, you could just collapse on this Orphea, but I'd punish this by pushing bot. Because boss doesn't net any tempo advantage. All it does is reduce your core health, and you are in the exact same state, macro-wise, as you at 40 health as you are at 1 health. This game is literally not lost until it is lost. Nothing changes by your core health. Versus, say, in any other map, getting boss pushes the lane, and that depletes your structures, which don't come back. And give the enemy team an advantage. Even in this map, even if the structures can come back, you still get an advantage while they're active. You get no advantage by having the enemy's core lower. So I'd punish this by going bot and pushing this. If you can get this fort, controlling bot fort is huge, and you'll get a way bigger advantage to come back with than them getting this boss. Even if you're low, this will put you even lower than that than you already are, and you're losing on shots, but you can always come back on this map. If you can control this and you can start building tempo and start winning team fights, it doesn't matter how low your core is because you can do all 32 shots. If you can do all 32 shots before they do one, that's fine. The fact that you're on 1 health does not make it any easier for them to get that last 1 hit in than it was to get the last 49 hits. Alright, still going here. Fish in this bush. Alright, so you see this. You don't go in here. And people so far behind, there's no follow-up here. Deckard's off in Antarctica. Both of your DPS are too far away to follow up. There's nothing that you can do in here. Yeah, so you had to use shield there. Yeah, actually, you didn't have to use shield, but you ended up doing it before anyone's in range. Ming just got in range. Greymane just got in range. So this plays out. Alright. Good job, Ming, throwing out the orb before your disintegrate. That added a lot of damage. I want to look at this again, though. Yeah, you guys stood in the Deathwing fire way too long. Keep that in mind. This is a 5v4 too. Unfortunate, you got Emerald Winded. If you're fast enough, you see that she's using Emerald Wind and you don't jump in, but that's like you have a quarter of a second to judge that. Yeah, you guys just standing in here trying to get the Deathwing kill hurts a lot because this level 16 conflagration is murdering you. That did so much damage that fight. Ah, this isn't bad. I want to see. Okay, you didn't have orb up. Fair enough.
Heroes, I have opened some new that leads to the battleground center.
Yeah, you gotta coordinate what you're doing because you're in like 4 different places here. Your Joe's in here looking for a fight, ready to fight. Your Ming's on the fringes throwing orbs, which is in fact that's kind of all she can do. Your Greymane's off over here. Your Deckard's over here throwing a root at nothing. You're so split up. You need to coordinate what you're doing. Right now, you know, Mal'Ganis has no mana. Deathwing's a huge problem on this point, but Deckard can also do points pretty well. You guys are low. You can try and fight this if you want. I wouldn't. Just because of the health advantage they have. But if you do, you need to be ready. So yeah. I don't love the random cursed bullet here because you're not trying to kill this guy. Maybe. Yeah, he's out. Okay. Yeah, I don't hate your positioning here. It's pretty basic. Send 1 for the top, send 4 for the bot. You might be using disintegrate too much. Like disintegrating that 1 mini is just a waste of mana. Alright, that was good. I like that. Banging the bush for the Deathwing. Lornado there is useless though. It doesn't do anything to Deathwing. Really good damage on Deathwing. Okay, don't overextend though. Don't chase too hard. You've got people coming in. Good attempt at a Blessed Shield, but it missed. I would have thrown it at this cluster instead of just at the lone Orphea. Okay, now I'd say you two go on the Orphea right now, and these guys are gonna get rooted. Being in Deckard can sort of handle them. Damn, big right wing cleanse though. Okay. So good damage on Deathwing. Deathwing's essentially out of the fight, unless he gets like long range Qs. But you can look for opportunities to punish him. You guys are pretty low. Your tank is, at least. Good in Tomb, but where's the follow-up? Yeah, same situation as Johanna. Look at where your follow-up is. Ming theoretically has pretty long range, but even that is too far away. She can reach like here with an orb. Even that's too far away for her to hit anyone. And orb's down anyway. Greymane is sort of in range, but he's really the only one. Joe's over here, and Greymane can't dive in alone. So this Entomb does not lead to a kill. And in fact, kind of baits your team. Don't walk into the fire. Like they are on this camp again. Very good. Watch out for invades, though. I like that you're checking this bush. You should be on the camp, but if no one else is doing it, at least someone's in the bush. Watch out for the fire guys again. This guy's cute big deathwing shirts. Oh shit, what happened there? Nice. Excellent. Blessed Shield is honestly kind of not required there. I like the willingness to rip it though. I won't follow you for it. And now you've got a good push bot set up. I like going for this. Right wing Z down. Oh, don't die to that. Alright, good. Excellent. What is that Lornado supposed to do? It didn't hit anyone, but even if it did, it's pushing them away from your team. And your team's looking like they want to kill them. Go back and see that again. Wasted Iron Skin. You're walking into the fight again. Yeah, and then you get hit with the stun. Yeah, that's another case of Joe's looking like she wants to engage. Your DPS is backing off. That sucks. You can't really contest anything here. You have to try, of course, because you lose if they get them both. You want to Q before you E to slow your target down, or Q before you W as Leoric to slow the target down, make it your W easier to land. I think you just kind of lose this fight. You don't have... I mean, you're just down people here. Like, it would take a miracle to win this. And you're zoned off by Orphea. Sucks. Alright, yeah. So, big things I've noticed this game. It's just for everyone. Your Leoric, work on your wave clear. You should have been like thousands of XP up on this Deathwing. If you're wave clearing efficiently and rotating quickly, and you could even use that priority to look into team fights. There was Leoric in team fights maybe like 3 or 4 times this game. There definitely could have been more with the priority you can get from Deathwing. Um, Joe, work on keeping making sure that what you're doing is something that DPS can follow up on. There's a lot of times that you're off going in when your DPS are back and can't follow up, and so your CC does nothing, and you end up too far away and losing all of your health. I like the initiative and the willingness to go in. That's really good. Just make sure that when you're going in, you're getting things done. Um, make sure you're using your abilities when you have them up, and not just disintegrating. I'm pretty sure you missed I could go back and analyze like damage, but I'm pretty sure you missed a few kills because of just not using abilities. Um, Deckard, I do not like the build, but I'm not going to go into it right now. Um, but make sure you're using your abilities efficiently. You're there for engage to lock people down for your team to kill. Just random roots don't do anything. You've got to use your W and your E together, slow them, get them into roots, set them up so your team can kill them. If you land a root and Ming can get a fat orb and Grayman can get a cursed bullet and then Grayman can dive in, that's a kill. Um, Grayman, I didn't see too many huge mistakes. I also wasn't watching out for them. Biggest thing I'd say is there were a couple times where you chased kills too much and ended up really far away from the team and dying for it. And overall, as a team, just make sure you know what your goal is and stick together. There's so many fights where you're split up. Half the team is looking off over this way, half of them is looking that way. Some people want to pull back, some people want to go in. We want to present a unified force. If you want to go in, you'll go in together. You look for someone, you hit them, you kill them, move on. The way I would say you play these fights as this team with this build is you wait for Ming to poke them down with orbs. Greymane can throw in some autos, and you just whittle them down. Joe plays defensively, doesn't let anyone in, and then once they get low, then you can start looking. They get hit by a fat Ming orb, and they're on 30%. Joe can go in, get a suck, and Greymane can kill them, and then get out. And they have low range. You want to try and abuse that. Yep, I think the biggest thing is probably just work on your communication. I obviously don't know the comms here, but I would guess they were not very coordinated. By the looks of where everyone is on team fights, it doesn't look like you have a unified plan. So if I don't know the story with you guys are, if you are a team that entered this together, uh, I'd look at maybe running some drills or just playing some games with a focus on communication. If you can get a shot caller, that's very helpful. But if not, you can have like maybe a collection of people that just contribute their ideas and you just follow whoever's talked last. As long as you're able to communicate and have a good plan of how you play team fights and how you play the game, that'll be really good. Yeah. Anyways, any questions, feel free to contact me. DM me in Discord, the easiest way, or if you want to ping me um in CCS Discord, that's also fine. Uh, Otherwise, I hope this helps. I will get this uploaded and posted, and hopefully this will help you in your games next week.